Live.
Oh my god.
At least I think we are.
Oh my
No.
god. Actually, it might help if I get the
Chat.
stream.
Chat, we are now
Oh,
live. I'm going to give you 4 minutes. That's what I'm going to give you. 4 minutes of silence to get your thoughts in order.
still not live, apparently.
What?
I'm just waiting to see when we leave.
We should be live now. Theoretically.
I'm logged into Twitch.
I like it when the snail on
We are live, definitely.
Alice in
I
Wonderland.
was just trying to see the
Yes.
order.
But the
There
snail
we
in
go.
Alice in Wonderland, he goes, theoretically. I love that.
The cat terrifies me.
I love him.
I remember seeing the Cheshire Cat,
I love
like the live action one,
Yes!
and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I would want
He's
to see that
evil.
thing.
He's the devil. He's like literally the devil. Like, I'm not joking. He is Mephistopheles. He is the god of chaos. Oh, Rapid Review is live.
We are live. I'm just checking to see the levels.
Kieran, can you say something?
Say something.
Yeah, you could.
Say something profound.
Just wanted to check the levels with everyone. So,
Et tu, Brute?
yeah,
That
we're
was
good.
last
That was
month.
something profound. Makes me tear up every time. Poor Julius. All I want to do is
He
be
was
king.
betrayed by his best friend. And was it like 60 other people? I don't remember.
I made my buddy ironically. He ironically sent me a video. It was like a 38-minute video, like someone explaining the death of Julius Caesar and how the senators planned it and stuff. And he sent it to me ironically. I ended up watching
Why?
like
It's
over
not
half of
ironic.
it.
Yeah.
I watched over half of it, and I was like, "This is quite interesting. Like
It's-
how they planned to like kill him here, but then suddenly the plans change, and he end up moving through this part of the city. And they're like, oh no,
Yes.
plans." And they had to get a big prominent figure on side, so they didn't get executed. They had to get like Mark Antony or somebody,
Mhm.
and just
Okay.
wouldn't. They didn't join up.
Well,
The
we
thing is,
have-
they didn't grass them in. They were like, "Nah, I'm not join you. You know,
Nice.
do your best.
It's,
I wish you the best of luck."
it's fascinating. It is absolutely. Oh no, I'm not gonna be I'm not gonna nerd out. I promise. But the whole.
That means you're gonna nerd out. And...
No, I'm not. I swear I'm not. But just the whole Roman governing empire.
Yeah.
Okay, I know that's boring. I know. Chat, you have 2 more minutes.
Oh, there we go. Cool. So I was just trying to figure out how to get the chat open on a separate window.
That's what she
I've
said.
just done it.
So until chat gets here. Oh, we've got 1 more minute. Chat, you've got 1 more minute.
Might help if I actually put a tweet out.
Yeah, do that.
Kieran, as you're here for the first time in a while, would you mind putting one of your awesome Discord messages where you tend to get some response?
He's very Russian today.
I was going to say it's not very good at the moment. Probably not. Damn it.
What was I gonna say? I don't remember. But chat, you have less than 30 seconds to arrive. Okay, no, since they're just now putting out things, I'll give you 5 more minutes.
I'll tell you what, see Fortnite getting rid of building. Oh.
I know, like, well, it's only in the one.
It's only for a limited time.
In the only.
Yeah, what it was, but that's how the season started, right? So I
Right.
went on when the season started, and I played 3 games. Guess how many of them I got victory? I get 2.
Oh,
I get 2 in a row as well.
You
was
beat
like,
those
Clearly
12-year-olds.
Building is not your thing.
As soon as those Nintendo Switch kids can't build, it's game over. It's my tough.
No more hiding. No more hiding in their bunkers.
It's hunting season at that point.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny because I actually the few times I play it, I'm not gonna admit to playing it very often, but I'm a builder. I'm a builder and hider.
Yeah, I think that's the majority of 12-year-old kids.
Shut up. Shut up, baby.
You know what's quite
I don't
funny?
know. Uh-huh.
Fortnite,
No, but
you're,
it's
you're doing a
true.
lot of walking around a big map in Fortnite, but yet in Fortnite, it's like walking around doesn't feel anywhere near as boring as it does in Battlefield.
Boy,
Isn't that funny?
That's not actually funny. I know it's funny, but that's actually a good point. Actually.
Yeah.
Bueno.
Yes. Observant, you are,
Yes.
Brent. We have a rogue, wild
Everyone's
Kieran
favorite.
back with us.
Kieran's back. Everyone's favorite. But
Oh,
yes, he is.
shut up.
I know.
I mean, you
everyone
say the
loves
same thing
Kieran.
about me, as like,
I
but
do.
that's not really true. So
No,
maybe it's
everyone
very
loves
keen.
Kieran and everyone loves Pete. Why?
Whereas everyone hates Chris.
Everyone hate. Ooh. That was actually well timed, Pete.
Yes.
We will not talk about that this week. We did a great. Oh, we had.
Episode one. What's the
Oh,
Twitch? What's the Twitch link?
Twitch.tv
Twitch.tv.
/rapid reviews.
Yeah. We did a great episode last week about the whole Will and Chris thing. So go check that out.
Yeah.
It was a good. It really was
Yes.
good. It was a
Well,
good.
so-
it wasn't part of the episode. It was part of the absolute mammoth stream at the end of it for no
So-
particular
What,
reason.
Kieran?
So twitch.tv /rapid reviews.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, put a www before it.
I never do.
I always put the HTTPS as well because it sometimes doesn't come up.
I'm Pete. I do everything by the book.
No, because it's Discord. It's a fucking weird one.
Kieran. Bueno says.
Kieran's in chat.
Kieran's in my brain. I can't help it. I just like the
Nice.
host shake up every now and then to keep it fresh. Actually, I agree with
Yeah.
you, Bueno.
I do agree
Uh,
as well. Flippin' heck. He has a name, Brent. I will
name-
call you Brent.
No, his name is Bueno forever.
I will call you Brent. You may call him Bueno.
What was it gonna say? I was gonna make a good point. I had an actual valid point. What was it? Last week. We had a good episode last week. But Bueno was there, so that wasn't it.
Bueno was there.
Yes. It was fun. It was a shorter one than normal, but yeah.
No, the episode was short.
That live stream at the end. That was a bit
Ooh,
weird.
that live stream.
That went places.
Well, see, that reminds me that we really need to start streaming in the evenings. I have a
Yes,
game that
so-
I have to. I'm contractually obligated to start streaming.
Mm-hmm.
I've got to stream it. It's so cute, y'all. It is so cute. I love it
I
so
want
much.
to stream this week.
But I don't know if I'm going to get time with a possible event like WSD coming up.
I'm Peter. Go to Vince. Can you tell?
Mm.
I'm tired of being locked down in my house. I need to get out.
Just don't live in Belfast then.
Oh, okay.
Simple solution.
Yep.
I'm just going to sell everything and upend to
No, I think-
mainland UK.
I honestly think I'm gonna take a trip down to Dublin and just like spend a week or something. I don't know yet. I need to do something.
Well, have you got
Go
that
see-
driver's license yet?
Technically, no.
So then you can't yet.
So
When you can.
I had a friend last week that said, "Kylie, you think rules are made for everyone else but you," and
That's true.
I don't think he's wrong. Because I told him, I was like, I think I'm going to just drive and put my R plates on. He's like, you can't do that. That's illegal. I was like, who's going to catch me? He's like,
Your R plates.
yeah, we have R plates. Is that not a UK thing?
No, we have L plates for learners.
Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me? So we have L plates. And then once you graduate from L plates, you get your R plates.
Oh, we have P plates.
Ours are called
Yeah, it's
R.
P is a new driver basically.
Okay, R is
Oh,
that-
I got the link right. Wow.
What?
Yes. Well done, Kieran. Well
Oh, chuffed.
What did Kieran do?
Got the link right.
done. He put the Discord.
I'm Kieran.
He got the link correct, so well
Link
done.
correct. Oh,
Well-
that's genius.
No, it's been a while. I'll let you off with that. It has been a long time.
That's what she said.
Amazing.
Brent says, I have been addicted to Before We Leave. Currently on Game Pass. I was up till 1 a.m. playing it last night. What's it about? Tell me. I'll tell you what I'm playing.
before we leave,
Oh.
that's the thing I was talking about earlier, Kaylee. But
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, is that what it's called? The planet
City builder
thing.
thing.
Yeah.
City builder
Yeah.
Yes, Brent. I have wanted to play that as well. Call Me Kevin did a thing on it, and then also Kieran did a thing on it, which makes me want to play it. So,
Anytime. So basically, what you're saying is that anyone could recommend you a game at any time, but there's
No.
only 2 people in
I
the
was
world
gonna
that
say,
you're ever going to play said game.
I'm very strict.
How
It's,
susceptible to influence you are.
it's only Call Me Kevin and Kieran.
That's what I just said. I said only 2 people in the world you're ever going to listen to. So I could recommend you the most wonderful game in the world, and you'd be like, nah, not going to play it. Kieran tells you
Kieran
it.
says it, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm there, man.
Kieran, we should definitely have a thing where we keep telling her to play the worst games in the world then.
It would work.
Yeah.
I'm not lying.
Just for a laugh. It would be
yes.
funny. I'll recommend a good game and then you recommend a terrible one.
Oh
Yeah,
my
I
See
God.
which one she goes for.
I think you should go play. Oh, I can't even think of a bad game.
Balan
that's-
or Wonderworld?
Balan Wonderland.
Think
Yes.
about that though. Who has that in their mind? Who takes up space in their memory for such a thing?
RGT85 because he's currently got a bet on with Spawncast about it,
Oh,
which
oh,
is
goodness.
hilarious.
Well, Brent says, I just want my islands to be happy and organized. Oh, that's what I want for just life. Happy and organized.
Howdy,
my 2 favorite words.
howdy, Nana. Here's a
Um,
bad game. The Bouncer.
I'm
Oh
not
yes, you
there
are very
yet.
much correct.
I was almost
Brent.
there.
Brent, I'm gonna let you down easy, brother. They'll be happy at first. The islands will live in peace, but as soon as you get that pollution in there, you're gonna have to get up and go. Just leave them behind.
Oh no.
Yeah, good
one-
luck trying to find a copy of The Bouncer, by the way. It's not easy at the moment.
I'm not there yet, Pete. One island
I
can't
don't
grow
care.
apples, and I import from the other islands. Isn't that what? That's globalization. That's what you should
Sounds
say.
about right.
Yeah, that's what you do, yeah.
Nana says hello. Hello, Nana. Here's a bad game. The Bouncer. Wait. Is the Bouncer the indie game?
Where the Square game that came out on PS2 quite early
Oh.
into its launch.
That's not
It's,
the one I'm thinking
it's a
of.
game that can be completed in about 45 minutes.
That must not be the one
And
I'm
it's
thinking
terrible.
of. Is it in like an 8-bit style?
No,
Okay, then it's not the one I'm thinking
no,
of.
it's full 3D like Square game. Like
Right.
it's a brawler as well, and it's very weird.
Oh, of course. No, I don't do brawlers. Which is ironic if you think about it. But anyway, Britt.
Here's another bad game, State of Emergency on the PS2.
I like State of Emergency. I had that.
Yeah, so did I. It was bad.
I loved it, but it was terrible. But I loved it.
Yeah. Here's another bad game that you can
Oh
play.
goodness.
Nah, I'm not gonna do that.
Okay. We're gonna say Halo.
Halo 5. That
Brent-
was actually the answer. I'm not joking.
Oh gosh. Brent says even
No,
though
I
I have
said
a
Halo 5 specifically.
Yes, even though I have a spaceship, I haven't launched it yet. Trying to perfect the first planet first. I get that. And then Nana says, "Welcome back, Kieran." See, everyone loves Kieran. So
We do.
I'm not the
Not
only
me.
one.
Not saying the same joke. Okay. Shall we get on with an episode?
Yes. Although
1
we
minute?
could wait 1 minute and make it 15:55. What is that? 3:55.
Let's do it. Yeah, 355.
Yeah.
I've added more incentive. I mean, I think that's
Oh dear.
What did he say?
No, no.
Oh.
So Nana says, here's another one from me, RE6, but specifically Chris's campaign. But no, just the vast majority of the game. Apart from Leon's campaign,
Oh,
because it's the only one that's actually half decent.
Call Me Kevin played RE2, the original. And I forgot how terrible Leon was in the original.
What, as a person?
Yes, as a person, as
Yeah.
a character, as the graphics. It's terrible. But did you know? Of course you didn't know that, and Chloe's not here. They took the RE2 map and put it in Dead by Daylight. And you get to play if you choose to be the killer, which I'm still not clear how Dead by Daylight works, even though I've watched it.
Team of 4 survivors against 1 killer.
Well, you get to be Mr. What's-His-Face, Mr. X.
Mr. X.
And it's the RE2 map, which is kind of cool, if I'm honest.
You mean the police
there's
station?
also zombies that
PlayStation.
roam the map out as well.
Mhm. I
Mhm.
saw that,
Not many of
yeah.
them, but some.
Yeah. So that was kind of interesting. I'm still not quite motivated to play it, but I respect
It's
it.
good. It's a good game if you have a full group of people. It's quite, my buddies played it when I think it's still on Game Pass. But I mean, we saw it and we're like, look, lads, let's just download
I'd
it.
have to
play
know
it.
humans.
I seem to recall a fair while ago where the three of us were all looking for games to play together. I downloaded Dead by Daylight. And
I
said,
just
"Should we
got an
play
order.
it?"
I just
And
got an
nobody
order.
else did.
I
I
have
even said
never-
we should play it with Chloe and Millie too.
Yes.
And look where that went.
I just got a giant order in. I'm like
I
excited.
don't know. It's Speaker in Big Trouble.
Okay.
That's a bad game you can play.
I will
sorry,
defend
Chloe
some
and
of
Millie.
that game, but not all of it. That's a bad game you can play. Sorry, Chloe. Oh, you just read that, Pete. Sorry, I got distracted. Okay, we're gonna start the show now because
Yep.
we went 0 for 1. So
Right, let me grab my,
Pete.
hang on. I will count you in.
Yes, please.
So I'm going to count in for the recording. So 3, 2, we're good to go. So to start my recording, you donut. Just leave off. 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Rapid Reviews, episode 117. I hope that woke you up. I am here with, again, my two favorite people on an impromptu emergency podcast. It's gonna be all, I don't remember the word, but it's all done last minute, so bear with us.
All together like a piece of string.
What is it called? Improv. That's the word I was looking for. Improv. Yes, Nana. Nana in chat says, this is going to be chaos. Lol. Yes, it is. Which is my favorite. So anyway, I'm your host. Well, co-host, Kylie Wild. And I'm joined by my ever-present and semi-ever-present co-hosts. We've got Pete.
Hello.
And we also have Kieran today.
Buongiorno.
And the audience is going mild. So Pete,
Good. Very good.
I stole that joke from Game Grumps.
I don't care. It worked in this particular moment.
Pete, let's check in with you. How has your week been? Let us know now.
Week's been fine. Oh. Actually, shall I say it's been fine? I don't know if it has.
Yeah, because you've been in isolation.
You just speak your mind, girl. You
Speak
go.
the truth.
go for it.
Speak your truth.
I got
Stand in your
locked in my
truth.
house for 5 days for work because my parents tested positive for COVID, so I couldn't go into the office. So, but I did have a day off on Friday, so it was just quite nice just having a bit of a rest. So not going to complain at that.
Preach it, King. Preach it.
Also, my Sonic review embargo lifted on Monday, so it was I could finally talk about the film. It's ace. It actually is very good. So
I've still seen the first one. I've still seen the first,
It's
so
on Netflix.
you don't really need to.
you don't need to. Okay.
No, honestly, you don't really need to. It's just an origin story. If you know Sonic, you know basically what's going on there. And to be fair, the worst part of that film is the human aspect, and it's a lot of it in the first movie. So yeah, just do the TLDR on that one.
Yes. I agree. Blue hedgehogs. How do they exist? Why do they exist? And what are
Sorry.
their place in this universe? It doesn't matter, Pete. So,
Okay, it's just that you cut out very briefly. I think, in
yeah,
the first part.
I'm going to get a new microphone, I think.
Good.
Kieran, that means you're number 2. How has your week been?
Oh. It's it's been okay. I've been busy with uni work. This is my last assignment of the semester is due tomorrow. So after this podcast, I will be finishing that up and hopefully submitting it before tomorrow.
Oh,
So
goodness.
tomorrow I can just take it all in.
Chill.
That's it. And also tomorrow is my last ever class of university.
Wow.
So how many years have you done this for now?
This would be my 4th and final year.
Oh
Okay.
my god.
I started
was it
university
during the
in I started university in September of 2018,
Wow.
and I'll be finishing.
Okay.
I'm technically finished. I am finished like as of the end of May officially.
Yeah.
I'm graduating in the end of June.
Okay.
That is no small feat
Well
for
done.
our audience.
Very.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically after tomorrow,
Oh no!
He's here.
after tomorrow, it's literally just dissertation work and studying for exams. But
Oh,
dissertation's
yeah.
quite fun. Yeah, I'm writing a bloody TV show, so.
Well, you're talented enough, as we all know, and as Deadbeat has entered the chat with all caps.
Sweet Prince.
Sweet
Sweet Prince.
cheeks.
That's why I said he's here.
Oh, Deadbeat, Sweet
Yes.
Prince. Value.
The enticement of a Kieran manages to wake up a sleeping deadbeat.
The problem is, I can't read Deadbeat's things to Kieran in earnest.
Fine, I'm gonna say it. He
So
says
Pete-
brains and buttocks. The boy has got it all. Enjoy
You're
that
too
compliment.
You are too kind, honestly. Oh, it's been too long, Deadbeat, since I've seen you. It's been too long. You know, Deadbeat. I remember actually saying I may have an idea for me to appear with you, Deadbeat, and you're
Ooh,
tough. But
Interesting.
if I can carve out the time, I'll get in contact with you about that. But yeah,
Must.
other than and back to my week. Yeah, so
Yes.
that's just essay work stuff. I'm playing a lot of Valheim when I've just been chilling. Really love Valheim. Hence why I pitched it for our Game of the Year episode for last year because it's great. God, see.
What
Yeah,
a
it's
great episode that was.
And then I've also watched episode 2 of the Halo series this week.
Yes, that's what I wanted to ask you.
Can we
So-
talk about the first two?
I've seen the
Because we don't-
first one. Kieran has seen the first two,
And I've stayed away from it.
and Peter stayed away from it. Now,
No, I'm waiting for Paramount Plus to come into the UK so I can try
To-
that free trial and just blitz it.
well,
For reference, I am in the US.
to fill in
Well, at least your VPN says so.
to fill in our audience, of the three of us, Kieran and I tend to be the kind of Halo fan people. Pete, not so much. I mean, he likes it. You know, he's probably your average Joe type guy. So
Ain't nothing special. Ain't nothing special.
that's not what I mean. But Kieran, oh my gosh, here we go. What did you think of the first two?
Episode 1 was good. I liked episode 1.
I'm
Honestly,
glad you feel
episode
that way.
Episode 1 could have been worse. That being said, it's like a 7. It's a 7 out of 10.
Oh,
I-
that's
honestly,
yes.
Episode 1. Yeah, I liked it. CGI.
Gosh.
We're not talking about the CGI. Right,
Okay, come on, come on.
The CGI is better than the last Halo live action thing they've done, but I mean that's episode 1. Episode 1's great. I like the Spartan outfits are great. The what else is good? Try to
yeah,
justify my reasoning.
yeah. Let's
I don't know.
hear that.
It was just nice. I think the guy that plays Master Chief, at least in episode 1, does a good job. But we'll get to that in a second. And again, Spartans are cool. They have done a decent job of, right, for reference, for anyone that doesn't know, the writers in an interview said they did not kind of play or look at the games when writing it. Take that as you will. So taking that into consideration, I think they've done a good job of like kind of getting an idea of like it feels like Halo, a Halo story. You know, they've got all the necessary components. And then we have episode 2. And then we have episode 2. And episode 2 is I think probably the best moment of episode 2 is
when it ended.
Is when Master Chief finally puts his Spartan armor back on.
Oh gosh.
He doesn't have it on most of the episode.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, he doesn't wear his Spartan armor most of the
dear.
episode. They also go to some like backwater rock, kind of like nowhere in Guardians of the Galaxy for whatever reason. And yeah, for reference as well, there's also some like human female person that's like high up in the Covenant for whatever reason. For reference to Covenant,
That's
or like the
very odd.
alien kind of faction
Yeah.
in Halo, and they're just aliens. They hate humans. But in this, no, we need to have we need to have a human antagonist because you know we clearly can't write villains as CGI aliens. You know, I don't get it because you look at like for anyone who's played Halo 2, you know how good you know, a Covenant kind of storyline can be. You know, think about the
Oh,
Arbiter being
yeah,
introduced to a
yeah.
secondary campaign, effectively.
Absolutely.
The Prophets are such good characters.
Mhm.
You know, there's like there are people, but in the series, as if they're treating the Covenant like just evil aliens, when
They're
as
not.
much as they are delusional, you know,
They're
religious maniacs.
religious fanatics. Yeah.
Like they could like Halo 2 should have been, they should have looked at Halo 2 to like build out the Covenant
Mhm.
as more compelling, and not just
Ooh, Deadbeat, that's a
Yeah.
good question. Do you think the writers got mixed up between Halo and Gears of War? Yeah, Gears of War, where the aliens are
because
just
that would actually-
generic.
No, that would mean they actually had a grasp on
Look, right,
source
look.
material.
Why has the Spartan got a
on-
chainsaw? Yes, Deadbeat.
on
Exactly.
on that note, right? Dwayne the Rock Johnson teased that he's gonna no listen
Oh,
right,
yes.
listen, I'm adamant. Dwayne the Rock Johnson at the start of the year, at the end of last year, teased that this year we're gonna get an announcement or a
Yep.
trailer for a video game project he's working on.
And you think it's that?
It's Gears of War. It has to be
You
Gears of
think
War.
it's Gears of War?
Batista's worked it for ages. Like, honestly, give me Dwayne, give me Dave Batista, give me John Cena, give me
Oh my
and
gosh.
give me someone else just to fill out Delta Squad.
Idris
Give me
Elba.
that.
Oh my gosh, that would be perfect.
No, Idris Elba isn't hedge enough.
No, he needs to
John
be
Wicker.
big boy, a big boy, like big boy.
We need someone good for Coltrane.
We need a
Marshall
wrestler.
and Lynch could be good. Marshall
Oh
and Lynch
my
would be actually good.
gosh. The Rock
But-
just
but-
blinks it.
You know it's going to be out of left field. It's not going to be Gears of War. because
Deadbeat,
look,
that's
he
awesome.
did the
has to happen,
same thing
though.
when it came to Rampage.
It has to happen, man.
Oh, it
He
has
said
to
the
happen.
same thing about
Well,
Rampage.
No, but we were talking about this off air. How actually I think it's going to come up. The game industry is like 7.6 billion industry or something like that.
It's not on the stories, but we can talk about it very briefly now. since
Okay.
you brought it up.
And
Yeah,
so,
yeah, when you
well, it just saying that we're going to see a lot more integration in our entertainment, like TV and movies and stuff like that.
How annoying.
Yeah. Well, yes and no. Oh, I could do a whole
No, because
diatribe on how the
movies
movies ruined the X-Men.
carry on.
But I mean, the movies actually did ruin the X-Men comics 100%. But I could absolutely see Dwayne the Rock Johnson as Phoenix, Marcus Phoenix. in
Yeah,
Gears
I
of
could
War.
as well.
Seriously, I think it would be Batista's Marcus Phoenix, because you consider Dave Batista as a
Ooh.
Marcus Phoenix skin in Gears 5.
Oh yeah, you can. So
So-
it seems likely.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm pretty sure, and the Gears 5 campaign as well, you can like enable Dave Batista's skin for Marcus in the campaign as well. It's like fully animated and
Right.
stuff.
Amazing.
So like, I mean, it's as if they're teasing it in Gears 5. They're like, listen, Dave Batista, he's our Marcus Phoenix. We don't care if Dwayne gets it, he's ours.
Well,
Oh yeah.
what about the theory that Dwayne the Rock Johnson, his full name, could
No,
be...
Can we just stop doing that? Let's just call him The Rock or Dwayne, and that's it.
No. Here's the perfect Delta Squad, right? So we've got Dwayne as Marcus Phoenix. We have John Cena as Baird.
yes.
We
Yes.
have
Who's playing Dom?
Ch- that's a tough one. Oh, that is a tough one. Doesn't matter. Coltrane's Kevin Hart.
No,
Oh
no, he's tiny. You can't have that.
What? You can't.
He's not hen.
you
He's
can't
not
have.
hen.
You can't have Dwayne without Kevin. They're a package
Cat,
deal.
you very easily can. It's called Fast and Furious.
Like you can have
Terry
Kevin
Crews,
without Dwayne. I
deadbeat.
mean, the Borderlands films told us that much.
Deadbeat
But,
in with Terry Crews. And
Yes,
Brent-
that's the best choice.
Brent
There you go.
Brent in with Terry Crews. That's
Oh.
unanimous in chat.
I hope you're
Terry
not thinking
Crews.
that. Deadbeat, sir. I owe you a sub. Pete,
Well, you haven't subbed to his podcast already yet. Scandalous.
no, I mean, give him a sub to our stream.
I know. I know.
But I can, yeah, because Terry Crews get the perfect energy levels just to
Absolutely.
scream Coltrane,
Yeah.
baby.
Oh yes.
Exactly.
And then Gina Carino just for fun for Pete.
No, I would never watch it then.
But yeah, no, I would recommend giving the Halo show a bash if you can. I'm hoping episode 3 puts us
I
back
do.
on the right track, because episode 2 was not
Yeah.
it.
I do regularly give it a bash. I verbally bash it.
The irony is, right, I'll keep seeing videos. So in it, it's not Blue Team, it's Silver Team he's part of.
Right.
So
Yeah.
there's 4 Spartans, it's Master Chief, and it's not the same names as like Blue Team's names like Fred, and that's not them. But the other male Spartan part of the team is more Master Chief than Master Chief. Like I keep seeing people saying it. He's
Okay.
an absolute unit.
Okay.
He looks
Yes.
badass as F, and
Can I?
You're not
and he's
wrong.
just-
You're not wrong.
Can I?
the
Can I
male
just?
Male Spartan's just he's a man. He's a great guy. He's
What?
Chad.
Yeah.
What, Pete?
Yeah. Would it be all right to move on from this because it's making me angry just thinking about it?
Well, I haven't said anything about myself, but yes.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not even a Halo fan, and it's making me annoyed. But anyway, like, do you want to have your word on it, and then we'll move on?
I'm done with it.
Yeah.
I mean-
I've said my piece. I've said too much. I'll be quiet.
Yeah. Kylie, carry on. You say your piece on with that first episode, and then we'll move on.
Oh, well, I don't really have anything to say except that I hated it. I hated the lore. I hated the CGI. The CGI is so bad, guys. There's this moment.
There's been worse. Right. There's been worse.
In Doom, maybe, with Dwayne The Rock Johnson. But the HUD.
The first-person sequence was the only good bit of that film.
Well, it's like, see, here's the thing. They try to pull that off. They do a first-person sequence.
They've actually got got
yeah,
the
with
UI.
the HUD and stuff. Yeah, and it could have been better. It could have gone so much better. I don't know. It's not for me, but I will hang around as long as I can.
It's not for you, a die-hard Halo fan. Well, that's worrying.
Well, but if you go back to the fact that the writers never saw or played the games or read any of the extraneous
Yeah,
stuff.
is that,
I opened the whole point with that.
keeping that little detail in mind is actually quite miraculous. How kind of on point they've actually got the universe.
Yeah.
As much as it's
Probably-
not perfect, it's like it's pretty.
Yeah.
Like, they've got all the important parts there. You know.
Probably because Big Phil was standing behind him, going, "You're gonna get
Oh,
this
no, I'm
right. You're gonna get this right."
I'm pretty sure the way they done it was, I'm pretty sure they actually sat down with like kind of like writers at 343 and like people at 343
They'd
to like,
have
get
to,
a feel for the
yeah.
universe. So they basically asked the interviewing them, saying like, "Oh, so what's this about in the universe?"
Mhm.
I think that's how they done it. I'm pretty sure that's how they done it.
I think they'd have to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, they did the research, but not thoroughly enough.
Right.
Look, there's a chat that's coming from Deadbeat. I'm not addressing that because it involves abandoned. So
Oh,
no.
I want to talk
fake.
about that because
Because we got a show to get on with.
But I've talked about Blue Box so much on this show. P won't let me talk about it, Deadbeat.
Because it's a waste of time. It's a fake- it
That's what he
was-
says. I tried to make an entire show about Blue Box. And Pete's like, it's
Yeah,
a
because
waste of time.
no, because the show would be over in 5 minutes. The guy who's making Abandoned has screwed a load of people over in the hope of trying to once make a game that was not a game.
I'm absolutely fascinated
8
by it.
gigabytes for a 1-second movie.
I'm fascinated by this because he's like really good at marketing and he has people entranced, or he's actually made a game and people are voting or not voting, people are against him.
I think there's a difference between being a good marketer and a good con man.
Right.
I think there's very different distinctions, but I think that's where we'll leave that one.
Yes.
Yeah,
Well,
and he says that I
like
hate
what
content,
Deadbeat
which
says.
is not true because there is no content in this story. And you said that a clown like Colin Moriarty's had an interview with him. What kind of interview can you do with a clown who has no content?
I would love to do an interview. What? I should reach out to him. We should put it on the show.
No, never. I will not waste my time. Let's move on.
But I want to talk about me. It's my turn.
Oh yeah, sorry. My bad.
I think that's the first time Pete she's actually done
I
that.
know. That's where it takes. Like. I'm shocked. Move on. Let's carry. Like you say a bit.
Yeah.
No. Just imagine Pete done this. Just say no. She asked for this time. No.
Well,
Not your turn now. No.
You only speak when out like a good guy.
Kylie, you're allowed to speak anytime you like. I said anytime you like.
I know, I'm playing. No, actually, what I wanted to talk about was, so
Frank, get it right, this is chaos.
It is. It's my favorite. I'm the queen of chaos. Thank you very much. No, so I went and downloaded on my PC because my PC's all upgraded now and it's fancy and special. So
It's that DDR4 RAM that you didn't know about.
what?
How much? How much RAM did you have?
Pete
How much
asked
did
me.
it cost?
Okay. I will say this because it is funny and it's for the bit. So Pete, I was like, "Oh, I put RAM in my computer." Pete said, "How much?" I said, "Oh, it was only like 60 quid." Obviously,
I wanted to know how much memory.
Pete, how much memory did I put in? For those who need to know, I put in 16 gigs, and it is DDR3. So.
Oh, 3? I thought you said 4.
No, 3. So.
Oh, that sucks.
So there you go. But anyway.
Yeah.
That distracts.
Great sitting over here with DDR4 RAM, you know.
Oh. Anyway, so
it cost me a fair amount to do.
Yeah.
Carry on.
I decided on a whim. I don't know why, but I decided to download Fallout 4 because it's on Game Pass. And since I've upgraded to the Xbox S. That's the one I have, right? The little
Series
one.
S, yes.
Yeah, I have the little one. All my stuff is gone, and I spent like 100 hours in Fallout 4, so I was like, oh, I kind of miss it, blah, blah. And I was like, why not do it to PC? So download it to PC, and then I was like, there's no DLC. Why don't I go onto CD Keys and see how cheap I can get it? The whole Game of the Year thing. I got it for like 8 quid. So I downloaded that. So yes, exactly. Deadbeat. It's just humble component Brack.
No, I could have gone worse.
But I downloaded it. And I've been downloading mods for like 2 days and I love it and I'm back in heaven again. So I love Fallout 4. But I don't, again, when I say I love Fallout 4, please do not mistake and think that I love the gameplay or the storyline. No. I love the mods.
Yeah.
And that's why I give Fallout 4 5 stars. Anyway, what?
I'm actually quite surprised by that. I'm surprised I didn't have the Game of the Year edition on Game Pass.
No, they don't. You have to.
That is very
but
surprising.
To be fair, the Game of the Year edition on Game Pass, like if you buy it, because you got it, is like 9 quid. But
oh, so you skimped out on
yeah.
1 quid.
See,
you saved
that's my problem.
£8.
I'm too much of a cheapskate. But I don't know. I
That's
felt
why
kind
you
of
went with DDR3 rather than 4.
It is. I'm. What is it? I have a friend that tells me I'm penny wise but pound something. Pound foolish.
You're a penny pincher.
I'm a penny pincher, big time. But that's why I'm. But anyway, so
speaking of pinching pennies, we're gonna move on to a story.
I want to say everyone go play Fallout 4. It's fun. I love it.
You ruined my segue for God's
Sorry,
sake.
but I wasn't done talking.
That was the perfect segue as well.
No, the perfect segue is in my garage. Not yet. I'm gonna get a Segway one day. I really do want one.
Speaking of segues,
So Sony, we're not going to cover this in major way because actually there's going to probably be an episode on it.
Yeah, I would like to be one, but there to be one. But if the audience is not into it, that's cool. Continue on. Keep going, Pete.
Okay.
speaking of segues,
Deadbeat put that brilliant segue gone to waste. Thank you. But once he's actually on my side, that's rare.
Brent says, sorry. I tried Fallout 4. Wasn't for me. I gave it until Diamond City. Again, I am not saying that the gameplay is great or the story's great. Mods. All the mods ever. Anyway.
Okay. So, like I was saying, we're not going to cover this in major detail because there's going to be an episode on it, probably nearer the time when it actually does launch in our territory. So, Sony has confirmed PlayStation Plus Essentials, Extra, and Premium subscriptions. This was the quoted Project Spartacus that they were talking about for quite a while. So there's there's going to be 3 tiers of PlayStation Plus that integrates PlayStation Plus and PlayStation Now into one package. So you got 3 different tiers at 3 varying different price points, and they offer different stuff. And why are you bouncing there like a? It's making me feel on edge.
Sorry! Debbie asked a question that I really want to answer.
Go ahead.
No! It's not time. Continue on, Pete.
No, because we've already interrupted, so let's go ahead.
The top 10 mods that you need to get for Fallout 4 is...
Oh, too overexcited. You can't hear all of what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I got very excited. Okay, so the top 10 mods are you have to get the Scrap the Wasteland one. You have to get Conquest. Conquest lets you set up a settlement anywhere and clean anywhere in the entire wasteland. Then you need to get the no-clip grass, because grass grows through like the floor and stuff, so you clip that and you get rid of that.
Wondering what stories to take off now.
Okay. Debbie says louder. Okay, but those 3, guys, I'm telling you, if you like Minecraft, then you will like those. Go get those mods. They are awesome. Okay.
Speaking of segues,
Oh dear. So I don't know if I could be bothered to talk
No!
about this. We're going to cover it in
No!
a later episode. Oh, no, we are covering it in a later episode.
We
to be
are.
honest.
And that's the only reason I interrupted. I would never disrespect Pete like
No.
that.
Okay, so yeah, as I said, in the new services are called PS Plus Essentials, Extra, and Premium. So I think what was it? So the Essentials is basically what you're getting now for the price that you're getting it for now, which is £60 a year. The next tier up, which was the Extra tier, it is a bit extra, you know. It's going to cost you a little bit more, I think. Yeah, so $49.99. Sorry, it's £50 a year for the regular one. $83.99 a year for the next tier up. Oh no, that's the last tier. Sorry.
Yeah.
Wow, this is really badly detailed.
Mm.
Okay, the article is really badly written for this reason.
so the highest tier subscription is
Yeah, it's the
99
highest
a year.
tier. Yeah, so I got that right. So why are you shaking your head at me, Kylie?
I don't remember.
Damn it.
No, I wasn't shaking
Ruined
my
it
head
for
at
me.
you.
Again.
If I was being honest, I'm shaking my head at PlayStation Network.
Yeah,
Because
that's
it's
where the misunderstanding. Okay,
a
so
terrible
yeah.
investment.
So $83.99 a year is PS Plus Extra, so that includes a catalogue of PS4 and PS5 games included within. I'm not sure how many are going to be there, but anyway, PS Plus Premium offers up to 340 games, including PS3 titles, with a caveat of there being streaming only. But the PS1, PS2, and PSP games are going to be download option, and that is for £99. Oh, just 1 penny shy of £100 a year. So, still slightly less than Game Pass per year,
I'd say that is slightly cheaper than Game Pass, but
but it doesn't offer a lot of the service that Game Pass offers. So,
for me, it's more a branding thing. You know, I think at this point, Game Pass is a brand.
Mm-hmm.
People recognize it as a brand. It almost has its own identity separate from Xbox. PS Now. I mean, is it still PlayStation Now? PlayStation Plus even?
PSN.
they're going to
or
be
whatever.
they're going to be integrated in together in this. So
Yeah,
that
so
PS Now. So anyone that's on PS Now at the moment, I believe, is going to be moved over to the extra tier for no extra cost.
Right.
So
But
their
it-
remaining
but the actual
subscription
subscription-
time will be added to that tier.
But the subscription is called PlayStation Plus. It's my
Yeah.
thing.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like
So they've just taken away Now and just integrated it all in.
yeah. So like, I'm saying I feel like I kind of short isn't his deal, but in a short note, like you're like right, is this the competitive PlayStation's looking for? I don't think so. No, because again, Xbox like game. I'm not even going to mention Xbox. Game Pass is an established brand
Mhm.
as it stands. It's only growing.
Mhm.
Plus, on another kind of small note, Game Pass extends beyond the Xbox console onto PC
Yep.
and onto mobile. It's again, it's its own entity. It's becoming its own entity at this point. PlayStation Plus. I mean, again, it's just like, I suppose it's more incentive. Like maybe deciding, oh, do I want an Xbox? Do I want a PlayStation? Like, oh, I could get a bunch of PlayStation games with a subscription. But I don't know. There's something about it, isn't there? It just isn't as tempting.
Mhm.
Again, I don't know if that's just because of how well branded the Game Pass is. Like you can't help but compare it to it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I would see this as too exciting or too much of a threat at the current point in time. I don't see it.
No, to be honest with you, I see this more of them trying to compete with Nintendo's offering rather than actually with Game Pass itself. It seems far too similar to what Nintendo are offering with the expansion pass plus or the expansion pass itself with the downloadable games and stuff like that and streaming services. All that it's. I think the day that they have day and date like Game Pass is when you can probably consider it a competitor.
Mm.
At the moment, it is yeah okay. They're going to add Returnal into their day one. Great idea. Probably helped. Game's a year old at this point. Like, you know, when you have things like Psychonauts 2 being added to Game Pass day and date, you know, that is a massive prospect for people who are sitting on the fence about the game to just go, yeah, why not? I'll download it.
Let's
And I
go for it.
did. So this may not offer the same sort of service. Also, that pricing point for me, I know is a bit different, you know, in the fact that I have 2 years worth of Game Pass there with my Series X, the way I purchased it. I don't have to worry about that payment for a while. But with this one, it's constantly on the back of my mind. It's £50 every year for PS Plus, and I don't really use my PlayStation as much as I do my Xbox. So it's something I'm going to make a very strong consideration about whether or not I upgrade my tier.
I think that makes sense.
Also, PS3 games streamed is an absolute tragedy.
Yeah,
Had
because
to put that in there.
it's from the cloud.
Yeah, and the PS Now service is terrible as is. It's going to be
Exactly.
using that infrastructure. So,
Well, we've got 2 comments from chat that are appropriate.
So, do you want to read them?
Either way, does not matter to me. Pete.
Okay, Nana put, I hope Kieran could be on that episode because I want to hear his opinion on it as a person who really likes Game Pass. Will probably be much better when it gets closer to time. Someone can actually experience it, see what it's like. That's why we want to wait. Deadbeat put, when Jim Ryan won't let you get Game Pass because you have Game Pass at home. Fair point. Fair point. I read that a couple of times and it confused me, and now I do realise what
That's
it means
'cause,
there.
yeah.
It's very clever.
When
See
mom
me,
wants you
Jim, can I get Game Pass? Just
Yeah.
like, no, son. Jim,
yeah,
no, son, we have Game Pass
it's
at
at
home.
home.
It's
It's such an inferior
Okay, so-
product.
Right, Kylie, do you have any thoughts on this one outside of what else has been said?
If I look at it from a very robotic business point of view, they're gonna. I mean, it's a good foray. They've offered quite a bit, but I don't think they've offered quite enough. And also, doing it as just cloud streaming is not great.
Yeah.
Not great.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's
Right. Let's move on to this quick story because this is another one. This is an update from last week's topic, in which we covered the DMCA takedowns by a
Woohoo! It
particular
wasn't a
fraudulent actor
terrible
by.
topic.
So, coming from VGC, Bungie has filed a lawsuit against senders of bogus Destiny DMCA strikes. Companies seeking damages of $150,000 for each fraudulent
Hell
takedown
yeah.
notice.
I love that.
It's very good. So, Bungie has filed a lawsuit against a group of anonymous individuals alleged to have sent a series of bogus Destiny DMCA strikes. Studio said on March 20th that it was investigating a series of copyright takedowns on YouTube that had not been requested by the company or its partners, and that it would provide an update in due course. And in a lawsuit filed on Friday via Torrent Freak, well, that's a bad place to probably get your news from, if I'm honest.
It's not. No, it's not. It's not at all.
No, I meant you know, how it sounds. Torrent freak, yeah, probably not the best. It sounds like you're downloading that news for free. Anyway, Bungie claims the John Does used a hole in YouTube's DMCA process security to impersonate studio and sabotage work on Destiny content creators. We're basically going over the ground that we already know. So, let's see. Anyway, yeah, we don't need to know much about it, apart from Bungie is seeking damages and injunctive relief, including enhanced statutory damages of £150,000 for each fraudulent takedown notice that willfully infringe Bungie's copyrights. So, Kylie, care to comment?
This actually came as a surprise to me, but like very, very pleasant surprise. I'm very happy that Bungie's doing this because I got worried there for a second because they didn't come out and against this, and they were letting their, you know, I talked about last week how Bungie's really big on community cultivation and stuff like that. They didn't come out and defend their content creators and stuff like that, which is odd. But now I see it was because for legal reasons. They were keeping their trap shut. And so this is like a huge... It's sad that it has to happen, but I mean, it's a relief. And the best way to fight crap people is through your wallet. So if they knock them for money and get, sue them successfully, then probably they will stop doing this, I hope.
I don't think it's even going to get to court.
I don't either. That's what I think. I think they'll
be
settle out
of court settlement, not have their name dragged through the mud and potentially lose a career and all that. I mean, they probably
around and find out
because of what they did.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, companies get away with this not having their names dragged through court, so it should be allowed the other way around as well. So if they want to settle this, settle it. Like, they've clearly done wrong, and there's clearly enough evidence to prove a legal case. So just settle it and just get it be done with. You were an idiot for what you did in the first place.
Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely.
Kieran, as you weren't here last week, do you have any comments about the story generally?
I mean, at least with regards to the lawsuit stuff, I think it's good for them to have done this. I think it's very good, at least image-wise. Because you think about it in like kind of 3 dimensions here, right? So, on one front, it makes sense why they're suing these people because you think about how outraged the community was, thinking it was Bungie or like at least Sony doing this, or like whoever they're partnered with doing this, because like content creators in Destiny being allowed to do use footage and stuff, you know, for as long as the game's been out. Destiny has built upon its community. The community hold it up as much as they complain about it. Me being one of them. But so no, there's that dimension also. Again, and that's in that similar sense, it kind of hurts Bungie's image of being a very community-friendly company, community-orientated company as well. We've seen this come down. So really, what this lawsuit does is, if anything, it bolsters their image, doesn't it? Because like this isn't as much as like this is also for them, and the fact we can't have people impersonating our kind of companies or kind of offshoots that work on this stuff. In another sense, I think to the average person, people look at this and think, you know what, guys, we're here for you. We're going to defend you by punishing these people personally. I think it's a very good move in that sense that they're really coming out here with this lawsuit saying we are the champion of the people, and I think that's quite good for them.
It's a good position to be in as a company.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure as well, and I think it was before this came out as an official story, but they brought out in a This Week at Bungie post, which is a kind of blog post they bring out every Thursday. They actually had a full section dedicated to.
That's what we covered last week.
Yeah, and yeah, I think that's good as well. The fact that they've done that to keep people in the loop as well.
Yeah, it was a good idea. It was a good way of keeping them up to date and all that. Obviously, they had something in the background going with filing legal papers on this. So.
Overall, I don't know why on earth anyone would even want to do this. I don't get it.
Morons.
Yeah, they are morons. I mean, they're going to be out of pocket very soon because of it. And they have really helped Bungie again promote their image of being a community-friendly company. I mean, if anything, they've helped Bungie here by
Mhm.
allowing them to do this.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Right. We're going to move on because that was just an update. We didn't need to not covering it in massive amounts of degree of possibility, but
Look what Brent said, Pete. Look what Brent said.
Brent has put, I heard Xbox may put some games on Spartacus. No, I'm not even covering that crud April Fool's joke where all the Sony games were on Game Pass.
So I'd see that one. That was quite fun.
Mhm.
I did like it.
It was terrible anyway.
Because I remember looking, I was like,
I looked at it and I just went, if you think this is true, then
Yeah.
you are dumb.
I just saw it and I was like, that can't be right. That can't be right.
Anyway.
There's something not right about that.
Ah.
So to a news story where I can massively say I was correct again.
Oh.
Nintendo has delayed Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 to spring 2023. So my March prediction is getting very, very close to being correct. March 2023.
See if,
Okay.
see if you're right, Pete. Will you dress up as Link for an episode? If you are right,
Depends on what kind of Link you want me to dress up as. Because there was new footage that was shown off during this time as well. Which is weird.
but I said Hot Tub Link.
What you mean? You mean shirtless and just in boxers, Link,
Just,
as he comes out the shrine.
yeah, like, you asked me what kind of Link would it be. I said Hot Tub Link would be preferable. I think it'd be very apt considering your background.
Well, we all know what the stipulation was. It has to be 1 million of something. Remember it. Wind Waker, Link.
Wind Waker's the best.
Is he trying to say that I'm tiny? I'm not sure what this means. Or am I cel-shaded? I don't get it.
Either that, I mean, I could have been an honest suggestion. Oh, maybe Wind Waker Link, you know, could
It does say that I have the body for it. I'm like, how? How do I have the body
There could
for
be
it?
no underlying meaning here, Pete. It could just be Wind Waker. Like, you know?
Of
I'm
course.
not sure how I'd pull that
Except
off in a cosplay. to be
Deadbeat
honest.
does follow it up with "You have the body for it."
Yeah, that's what I just said. I was like,
Right,
that's what I'm not working out here.
Right, okay. Yeah. I don't even need to dwell
I'm
on
not
it.
sure if this is a small joke, a fat joke, or I don't know.
I think we just move on. I think we just
Okay.
take it.
Yeah, fine. Nintendo has officially delayed the release date for Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 to spring 2023, but nobody cared about the delay. Let's just say that now.
No, they don't care. They're like Wind Waker heads. They're
No, sorry. Did you? Oh
Pete,
God,
Pete,
I'm
Pete,
not
Pete.
even commenting on that one, deadbeat. For Christ's sakes.
so
Pete,
good.
right, so
So good.
I mean, I think the reason nobody cares about the delay piece because we all know that it's going to be a masterpiece regardless.
No. I was
There you
getting to this.
go.
I was getting to this. If you allowed me the moment to just have this, for
Oh,
you got to
gosh.
go, what? No, the reason why nobody cared is because every single comment on Twitter about this was, Ianuma's had a bloody haircut.
What?
The game's director had a haircut, and everyone went wild about it. Trust me, I saw so many tweets about it. It was so
That's-
stupid.
I don't understand that community, but I did think it was funny when Kieran told us earlier he came across. What was it, a blog post?
Deadbeats literally just proved my point. Thank you.
Oh gosh, swish. But yeah, Kieran came across a independent Metro post.
Oh,
that
yeah.
said-
That's
yeah.
definitely not independent.
Yeah, Metro
It's
It
trash.
post.
was, it was a reader's feature, folks, from the Metro. So the Metro.
Bearing in mind that the Metro, for anyone who doesn't know, because I have to clarify this, is a free paper that is given out on the London Underground and certain train services, and most of the time it's clickbait crap.
You can get Metro at train stations down where I am as well, or up where I am for you. But yeah, so the Metro feature, the readers feature, they commissioned was Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 is going to be the best game ever made. And I mean, they're not wrong. I mean, Breath of the Wild 1 is without flaws. Naturally, the second one should be no different. Yeah. all I'm saying is, we're going to see Elden Ring Game of the Year this year, and we're going to see that Game of the Year next year. I'm calling it. Talk about predictions, Pete. That's my prediction.
Don't need to. It's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Zelda should
It's-
never have lost out.
I kid you not.
Mario Odyssey should never have lost out to Zelda.
If not a single person says that Breath of the Wild 2 is a masterpiece in their review, I don't know what I'll do. To be honest, I will stand in shock.
So, do you happen to remember? I'm trying to. You have to remember Curb Your Enthusiasm.
I haven't watched.
Where
that.
there's a famous clip of him just like diving out of the window after
Oh,
this really
gosh.
somber music plays. That's just how I'm gonna be if I read anything that says that it's not a masterpiece.
Oh, they're all gonna say it.
Not that it is a masterpiece. I don't want people say it's a
But
masterpiece.
no, I said it is a masterpiece. Oh.
Oh.
If the review doesn't include it, I'll dive out the window.
Deadbeat refers to it as drop mic journalism. Nana says, "OMG, deadbeat." I'm sure that's for Wind Waker, which is just the best.
Yeah. So you mentioned it.
I'm American. That's not weird to me. That's not a bad word.
Look, I wasn't going to acknowledge it because it's just crass for the sake of it.
Yeah, but it's not the same for me. I don't have the same meaning.
Okay. So, we previously announced that we were aiming for a 2022 release for this game. Series producer AG and Ayanuma said in the video update released on Tuesday. However, we've decided to extend our development time a bit and change the release to spring 2023. For those who have been looking forward to a release this year, we apologise.
Bum bum bum.
But I mean, nobody, as I said, nobody cares if they knows it's going to be the best game ever made when
Oh
it comes out.
gosh. Oh dear.
Surpassing,
Yes.
surpassing the
Oh,
first
dear.
one by a long shot. You know?
And Elden Ring.
Oh
Debbie,
no!
I'm doing my job for people who haven't watched the video because these guys are not Nintendo fans who probably didn't watch it actually.
Yeah.
So
Screw Nintendo.
anyway,
Deadbeat
let's
says,
move on from this absolute terrible story.
Deadbeat says, "Thanks for reading it out loud." Deadbeat, just type it and I'll read it.
Okay, right. Let's talk about some bigger news.
That's
And the
what she
most
said.
obvious news story of the entire week. E3 2022 has now been cancelled,
What's that?
both digitally and in person. And Jeff Keighley had the tweet ready and racked
Of course
to go.
he did.
Yeah,
Of course
I was
he
gonna,
did.
Talking about Summer
Uh-huh.
Game Fest.
I was gonna,
Ah.
call that one out. My boy Jeff. Got a
Of
lot.
Jeff
course he
Sheely.
did. Well, read it.
Anyway.
Pete.
So E3 2022's digital event has been officially cancelled according to an email that has been sent to various industry partners. Razer PR lead Will Powers. There's a
It's like
character
Max
in
Power.
the First Ace Attorney called Will Powers. Tweeted that he had received an email from the ESA and that E3 Digital is officially cancelled for 2022. VGC has independently verified this, as well as IGN. So there's an update to the story. The ESA has issued a statement on the cancellation. We will devote all of our energy and resources to delivering. Oh my god, I can't even talk today. Delivering a revitalized physical and digital experience next summer. Whether enjoyed from the show floor or your favorite devices, the 2023 showcase will bring the community, media, and industry back together in an all-new format and interactive experience. Oh god, that doesn't fill me with any sort of confidence whatsoever. Oh dear. We look forward to presenting E3 to fans across the world live from Los Angeles in 2023. So they're staying in Los Angeles then, because that wasn't confirmed before.
Right.
Yeah, there's not much else I really want to say about this, if I'm honest. There's not much else we need to say. We called this months ago,
We
by
did.
the way.
The death of
I
either.
think everyone did.
Yeah.
It was so
No,
obvious.
we're
It was not,
special.
I'm not taking a victory on this one because the ESA are just crap
Well,
anyway. So
Yeah. But yeah. Well, it's like It's like Deadbeat says, which is I love E3, but it's no longer needed, which is something we've said a few times on here. It's just,
Yeah, but he also did say Xbox event is still going ahead up the road, and Nintendo
Yeah.
will probably do a direct.
well, that's exactly.
Which Jeff Keighley's just going to come out straight away and just go, yeah, that's part of Summer Games Fest, even if they don't officially confirm it, because
Hell.
Summer Games Fest is a pile of crap and
He
needs to have something put in there when it's not.
He wants to play too. He wants to be important. Jeff Keighley wants to be important. So.
Well, why doesn't he go and work with E3 then and actually get a working event?
Didn't
this
he used
year
to
with
work
them?
with E3 like back in the day?
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
and then he left because apparently it wasn't very good, and now he's piggybacking off everyone else's shit and saying, "Yeah, look, it's Summer Games Fest, or it's whatever it is, or the Game Awards, and
I
this is going to be
actually-
an exclusive of the Game Awards."
If I
You know,
could
you know what Jeff's doing?
Yeah,
Is
there
that-
you go. There you
It's-
go.
it's-
Deadbeat has summed it up perfectly. Keeley would take credit for someone else's fart in a lift.
Yeah.
Absolutely true.
Yeah,
I
Kieran,
think,
follow
it's
that
like
up.
Jeff. I think Summer Games Fest is kind of that thing like when you're at a club and then you start chatting to these guys and it's really cool and that, and then one of the guys, the whole group goes away, but he stays with you for whatever reason.
Oh,
He just follows you around the rest of the night.
Yes.
He's with you
Oh,
guys.
he's one of those hanger-ons. Yeah, I know
Yeah.
how that feels.
Yes.
I think in due time though. I think in due time, Jeff will sit in his throne of gold one day and look out and weep for there are no more events left to conquer.
Yeah, probably because that throne of gold will be given to him by Secret Labs in some sort of endorsement deal.
But no, do not ask for whom the bell tolls. It tolls for E3. I think
Yes.
that's
That's
quite a
what
fitting
Nana said.
end.
E3 dies a slow and horrible death, which kind of began in 2019. I agree.
It did.
But
Yeah.
you got to give credit to Jeff, man. That boy was on the trigger. I bet any money he was sitting in some dark basement somewhere with that tweet ready. He was prepped.
I
He knew it was coming.
guarantee that sat in his drafts for weeks.
His eyes bloodshot. His teeth falling out, sitting frothing
Yeah.
at the mouth, waiting for the announcement to come out, and then he sees it.
And then it came in, and he went, right, I've queued this ready to go.
Ah.
1 minute later, I'm in.
Oh, he broke out the champagne.
No, probably.
No,
Bear
he
in mind
won't.
that he's part of the press. He probably got the reveal beforehand, so
Yeah.
had it queued up, ready to go when the official statement came out.
No, imagine like every day since the announcement went online, he's just been emailing them saying, "Hi, have you cancelled yet?" Just every day without fail, he just says, "Hi, sorry to bother you again. Have you guys cancelled yet?" I say, "Oh no, this is probably getting annoying now." But have you guys
And
cancelled?
then he probably got the
awesome.
typical response. We'll endeavour to get back to you in 3 to 5 working days.
As of this moment, we're still continuing
It
on.
was just like emailing us to say, "Hi, you guys cancelled? It's okay if not. Just wanted to check." And then when he finally sends the email, he says, "Hi, you guys cancelled yet?" And I'm like, "Yeah, Jeff finally cancelled." And then sends them back. Thank F.
Or he
Get-
just sent a link to his tweet.
Yeah.
I did beat G-Man's time to shine.
But yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, let's move on to the next story. An Xbox Game Pass family plan is reportedly coming soon. Prices for the services are currently unknown. So,
What is
an
that?
Xbox Game Pass family plan is coming soon, according to a new report. Windows Central says its sources claim the plan will allow multiple users in one household to access the service in a similar fashion to Spotify and Nintendo Switch Online's family plans. According to trusted sources familiar with Microsoft's efforts, we can now confirm that Xbox is moving ahead with Xbox Game Pass Family Plan, which is set to launch at sometime this year. Funny how they kept this as close to their bonnet until when Sony revealed their offering.
Yeah, much like Jeff, they were just lying in wait like a predator.
Yeah, big brain strategy from them by it looks like.
They're sitting
Because people have
camouflaged.
been asking for this for ages.
They're sitting camouflaged in the bushes as PlayStation walk out into the meadow.
Don't let me get that gif out again. Kylie knows the one.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, okay, good. A specific launch window for the reported family plan was not given, with Windows Central simply claiming that it would be later this year. The site claims that the highest tier of the plan will provide access for 5 players. The report doesn't make clear whether PC Game Pass or Xbox Game Pass will be covered by separate family plans, or if it will be an Xbox Game Pass Ultimate family plan. How many times can you say family plan in one article?
It's good
pricing-
marketing
yeah, pricing.
strategy.
I know. Microsoft recently revealed that it had paid developers and publishers hundreds of millions of dollars in Game Pass license fees. And then it obviously goes into talking about PlayStation because they can't help but talk about PlayStation in the Xbox article, of course.
Oh my
So,
gosh,
what-
yeah.
So Kylie, as someone who has friends,
I was gonna say who
not in the
has
same
no
household.
family. But yes, continue on.
how does this news make you feel that you could potentially share this with people in
Well,
your household?
I have renters for anyone who doesn't
That's
know.
exactly why I mentioned it.
Well, but
You
here's
could, you could see if you actually try to sell rooms. Think, let's say, oh, this room, this living accommodation
with-
comes with Game Pass.
oh
And you're
frick,
like,
that's
wow.
actually okay, Kieran. That's actually a good idea. But I was about to say no. Everyone handles their own thing. I've got a renter that's like a PlayStation Sony pony, and
Why do you tell it? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, why do you allow that in your house?
How dare they bring such filth into your home?
and then I've got
No.
two that are Xbots, and then myself, which is an Xbot. See, that would be weird for me because I don't like, as Pete knows, I'm bad about sharing things.
You're like
As-
a dragon with gold.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I think it's a cool idea because Steam does that, right? Because I have a friend that I share a Steam library with. That's the
didn't know
same,
that.
right?
News to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have game sharing on Xbox as well.
Yeah, I've got access to his entire library. That's kind of cool. I don't know if that's gonna work the same though.
Yeah, I know a couple of my buddies like they share. They essentially like do a thing where you can like share your games library, but it's like such a process to get it working.
It
Things
is.
like you need to like set the person's like
Yep.
one of the people's Xbox to like the home Xbox of one account, so like you get stuff there.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a pain to set up sometimes, but like that's what I like about this. Because when you say family plan, when I read it, Pete, I was like family plan, like family's great, and then I thought, oh,
Yeah, well, they say it's in the same household, but it's clearly
This-
not because
this isn't for the family, this is for the fam.
The fam.
yeah, exactly.
The
I
fam,
mean,
folks.
let's look at it like this, right? Spotify Premium, like I have people, obviously, there are a couple of people in my house who use it, but then there's Rachel who doesn't live with me. You know,
Oh, now you've admitted that.
and all that. So, but she's still
Oh.
a part of it. I don't.
What?
And,
First time chat.
and now you can bestow upon her the gift of Game Pass. Think about it.
I think we got
Okay.
a bot in chat.
I don't know whether that is or not. I'm trying to work.
You
that
have
out.
to let us know if you're a bot. That's kind of our stipulation before
One
I
message.
read that.
So I think it's pretty sure if it is a bot, I highly doubt a bot in chat would say, "Oh yeah, I'm a bot.
Well, that's
Yeah.
my point.
I'm not real."
You have to say, "Oh no, not a bot." Okay, then we'll read it.
No, it's not a bot. Okay, so Gamer
Okay.
JM normalizing adults taking off their birthday or a random Tuesday or any goddamn day they feel
Hell
like
yeah.
taking off, normalizing a healthy workplace balance. Normalize days off, normalize vacations. You got to help your
Yeah.
employees and yourself take care of themselves and those around if you want them around. Yes,
I
absolutely.
agree 100%. As an employer of people, I agree with that 100%. And yes, all birthdays should be mandatory days off.
I agree. I hate having
Yeah.
to book a day off just for my birthday.
Yep.
Using up my precious holiday time.
No, I think birthdays should be days off. But anyway, that was
Yeah.
a
That was a weird one. I haven't not known if you're a bot. Sorry, Gamer J. Weren't sure.
hate the hustle. Well, well, I mean, I think that I employ people, and I think that they are my biggest assets to my company. If they're not taken care of, my company's not taken care of. If that makes sense.
Mm.
Yeah. So I'm a big believer in that.
What better way to take care of your employees than
To give
a
them Game Pass.
A Game Pass family plan.
Oh, Kieran, those are
All right.
actually good ideas. Actually, Kieran,
Okay, well,
Crap.
segueing onto this
I need
next
to think
story.
about that.
Well, moving very quickly onto this next
Speaking
little
of
story, which
segues.
might have something to do about worker.
By the way, Pete, this episode title is Speaking of Segway.
Yes, I did also put down in our chat Exactle.
Right? Okay.
After your one weirdness earlier.
And my one weird.
See, Exactle sounds like another one of those really crap Waddle copycats, you know? That's what it sounds like the name of.
Oh my gosh, there's so many
You're
out
onto
now.
a winner. You're onto a winner.
That's
Maybe you
Capcom.
could get bought out by Wall Street Journal.
Oof, can you imagine though? Oh, give me $1 million for something I did for a girlfriend. Frick yeah. Or boyfriend,
Yeah.
whatever. I don't care.
Okay. 4 US senators deeply concerned about proposed Xbox and Activision merger. They say the deal threatens worker-led demands for accountability.
See,
How?
here's the thing.
4 US senators have written to the Federal Trade Commission, the FTC, to express their concerns over the proposed merger between Microsoft and Activision Blizzard. It was announced in January that the Xbox maker intends to purchase Activision Blizzard for $68.7 billion. 69. The game industry's biggest ever by some distance. That would give Microsoft exclusive ownership of franchises including Call of Duty, Warcraft, Overwatch, Crash Bandicoot, and Guitar Hero. The FTC is handling an antitrust review of the deal to determine whether the takeover constitutes unfair competition. On Thursday, US Senators... Oh, God. Ugh. Elizabeth Warren, Bernie
Yeah.
Sanders,
Yeah.
Sheldon Whitehouse, and Cory Booker. What has Bernie Sanders ever done that's half decent? Get out of here.
I'm not going to say that, but I'm going to say... No, you finish, and then I
No.
will say.
Mr. Tax the Rich is a multi-millionaire. Get out. No, he is. He is.
I love it, guys. No, he's
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe.
I'm gonna bite my tongue.
Sent a letter
I'm gonna
to
be good. I'm gonna be good.
Sent a letter to FTC
Be good.
Chairwoman Lena Khan expressing their concern over the deal threatens worker-led demands for accountability over allegations of sexual misconduct and discrimination at Activision Blizzard. The proposed merger has already impeded unionization efforts and undermined workers' calls for accountability, they wrote. Over 1,800 Activision Blizzard employees signed a letter calling on Mr. Kotick. Please don't ever call him Mr. Kotick. Ever.
sounds like a
Call
really
him-
crap tech company.
Oh gosh.
Please call him the Goblin Meister himself.
I like goblins, not him.
Yeah. To step down from the organisation, one of the union organisers' key demands. However, Microsoft's proposed deal with Activision Blizzard is protected. Never again. Say
Yes,
it again. Why
Deadbeat.
did I put it again? Scummy man himself. Keeping him in his role as CEO until at least 2023,
Ugh.
guaranteeing him hundreds of millions in profit and a potential additional golden parachute worth over 14.5 million if he does not step away voluntarily. This lack of accountability, despite shareholders, employees, and the public calling Kotick to be held responsible for the culture he created, would be an unacceptable result of the proposed Microsoft acquisition.
Yeah, so I see. Honestly, after you reading that out, I really agree with the accountability stuff.
Sorry,
I-
there.
I
Kylie, you terrible person. No,
I-
there's those two funny ones. Okay, I can't repeat them out loud though.
no, you cannot. But Kieran is correct. I want to say that Kieran is correct first and foremost.
Yeah.
That
Also, there was a couple of comments in this. Deadbeat put Bernie's a wee pony. Yes. For those who don't, Brent put for those who don't know, 4 senators is 4% of the Senate. So 96% of the Senate doesn't care.
okay. I don't normally. Do
I don't
this.
think Bernie Sanders really actually cares about this that much.
I would not do this in a live show, but I'm gonna die. I really want to talk about Kieran's point because he just brought up the biggest point
Yeah.
for me personally, but I have to run to the bathroom.
Brilliant.
2 seconds. 2 seconds,
go.
or I'm gonna die.
Kieran, bring
Okay.
some. Yeah, you.
Kieran,
bring
please
up some
talk
points
about-
you wanna
yeah.
make.
I mean, yeah. I was gonna say about the accountability because realistically, right, I get where you're coming from. Because when you think about it, what this deal has allowed a lot of Activision higher ups just quietly leave it at the back door. You know, there's been a max exodus of them getting out, because I remember seeing when can you remember as well, right? If the implications, if the FTC,
The Federal Trade Commission, yeah.
yes, the FTC, if the FTC review shows that like the deal can't go through, Activision's dead. Like,
Yeah.
no point is I don't think people realize that, like, it's probably not going to happen. I think the deal will still go through. I think that's just likelihood. The deal will go through, but if it doesn't, Activision collapses.
I think they do.
Because
they're losing pretty much
yeah,
everyone.
Realistically, like what's happened here is all the Activision higher ups that were in charge of it, they've got out there as soon as they can. So basically, it's Microsoft essentially running that ship. And if the captain of the ship gets chucked off, you know, but yeah, I don't think too many people realise that, because I think that's a lot bigger than these bloody senators. I don't know what they're doing, Big Bernie. What are you doing, my guy? But no, the accountability thing is a big issue, as well as that the fact that these people are leaving. Microsoft are now effectively the only thing in that company together, and if they get chucked out by this FTC review, Activision are literally gone. They're gone. They are decimated. They will vanish into thin air. Not immediately, but they need leadership, and at this point in time, Microsoft is the leadership.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that's the point as well. Because again, I'm far more interested in the fact that they actually did decide to review the deal.
Yeah, I mean, it was always going to happen. The amount of money that was on the
Yeah,
table
yeah.
for this one, the amount of properties that were owned, it was always going to come into their remit of anti-competitive and antitrust law. You know, it was always going to happen. And bearing in mind that we've mentioned this before, that Microsoft isn't adverse to having to deal with antitrust in the past, so it was obvious this was going to happen. Like, Activision Blizzard are like one of the biggest publishers in the entire games industry. It was always going to be that case. But to say that, I think this probably should go through still, because actually Activision Blizzard is not that big of the market, and there is still plenty around to mean that this isn't going to be a monopoly in any way, shape, or form.
No.
It's getting close, but not quite there.
I don't
But,
think. Not
I mean,
the
you look at
American legal definition of a monopoly.
No, not in terms of the legal definition, but in terms of the amount of publishers that they are buying. Not just developers, publishers. They've done Bethesda, they've done Activision. They only need a couple more, and then they have them all.
But you think about how popular indies are becoming, and that, like, game industry's diverse still.
Yeah,
Sure, indie companies can be bought up for like a far lot less.
and
than these
look
big
at what
publishers, but like,
yeah, but look at what's been happening elsewhere. Look what's happened since this deal's come out. Sony have basically announced a new acquisition nearly every month.
Yes. That shows
But, like,
competitive
That's
market.
the way that the industry is going.
That's the
It's
way the
only
market.
yeah, the way I see it though, right? Fair enough, you probably have companies that you probably have, like, some individuals, some multi-million-dollar or billion-dollar individuals out there that love the thought of winning everything, right? But realistically, a smart man knows the competition's good for business.
Oh yeah, exactly.
I agree.
Is it, I mean, it's the exact same way that, you know, think about it like this, right? Oxygen for us is in direct competition with water, in the sense that and oxygen sells because it helps us breathe. You know, if we could breathe in water and underwater and up here, you know, we could go anywhere.
Right.
It makes life that much more better. And there's a lovely little comparison for you.
Yeah.
That makes me think of
Wonderful.
my favorite movie. One of my favorite movies, The Abyss, where they breathe in the water. They develop a gel that you can breathe in the water.
Yeah.
Nice.
And they make lots of money.
Yeah. Because that's thing. It just increases the value of being up here. You know? It's all about value.
Yeah, I agree. Competition is massive for people.
Pete clearly does not understand my point.
He doesn't.
It's really good. Like, sure.
I I actually
good-
zoned out for a minute because I saw that message from.
It's a
Tiffany,
very
so-
good analogy, actually.
Oh, no, it's a terrible analogy, but I think it's quite good.
It's a good analogy. But yes, thank you, Deadbeat. Oh, Deadbeat, I need to send you stuff. Oh crap, that's in the middle of our episode.
Welcome to my world, Deadbeat. Welcome to
Deadbeat,
my
I'm
world.
so sorry. I will send it. You messaged me, and I.
And you wonder why you don't get any people asking you to do merch.
I get tons of people asking me
I'm
to do
joking.
merch. Okay.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
I do apologize, Debbie. That's on me. I had a crazy week. That's still not an excuse. But...
Anyway, that's the news for this week.
Well, Brent had a comment. Did you read that?
No, I said. So Brent has put, I think Microsoft knows enough about acquisitions. They wouldn't try if it wouldn't go through.
Exactly.
And sure, Microsoft would have the number 1 and number 2 best-selling games of 2021, but that wouldn't equal the rest of the top 10. Agreed, yeah. But my point was about publishers, not about developers.
Can we?
There are a finite amount of publishers within this industry, and they are buying most of them.
They're really not. There's a chart that shows what they've bought compared to what's out there. But, I mean, it's definitely something to keep aware of. But since that's the end of the news, can we talk about how exciting November is going to be? Because
What?
Bethesda's releasing Star Whatchamadoodle.
Oh. Can I? Let me just say that the trickle of things that have come out about Starfield has now lessened my interest in this game.
Pete,
Because
that's how you
I
always
just
are.
want them to reveal the actual fucking game.
It's gonna be Skyrim in space. I can't wait.
Well
I'm
done.
so
I knew that
excited.
from the reveal trailer.
I'm so excited.
What's
I
so good
can't
about
wait.
space, though? We have oxygen down here.
We have water down here too.
We have water, exactly. We have water and oxygen down here. Like, what's space got? It's got rocks. And,
Lack of gravity.
yeah, lack of gravity. Like, we have gravity here. You know?
Well, I think the almighty Jeff Bezos would have something to say against that.
Through his
I
teeth.
highly doubt Amazon space with oxygen. I don't think he'd even want to.
I don't know. Anyway, look, I've got nothing against Starfield. Like, it's just like they've just been trickling information out like
I
so
can't wait.
little at a time that
I
actually
love it.
I've now gotten bored of
Yeah.
it to the point where I just want to see how the game looks in action, how
And
it's
play
possibly
it.
going to play, what the kind of like game it is, because we're like now basically 9 months out from launch and we still don't even know what
It's
the
like a
hell the game
baby.
is.
You know that meme from Mad Men where the elevator and the guy's like, "I feel bad for you,"
Yeah, I
and
guess.
then
I don't
Jill
even
turns
know
down
who
and
you
says, I just say, "I don't think about you at all."
Yeah.
That's me,
Yeah.
Starfield. Honestly, Starfield is like never
Ah.
at all.
Oh,
And
That's the thing.
I think Pete is because I've not seen anything on the game.
Oh, I
Yeah,
love it.
I want to like something about it. Like I like the idea of it
Audience,
coming
don't
out, but at this
listen
point,
to
I
them.
now need to see what the game is. I don't
Don't-
care about them revealing like 30 seconds worth of.
Don't
fucking
listen
lore.
to them. They don't know
Yeah, no, yeah,
anything.
it's like the concept art looks cool. I think the
Okay,
concept art.
Kylie, how many?
Yeah.
So sorry, how many times have you turned around and said a game looks absolutely fantastic from a CGI trailer? Too many times to recount. And how many times have I told you that gameplay is key? It's a game.
Doesn't matter. I'm still gonna
We've
play
not seen gameplay for a game that's coming out this
But-
year.
it. It's Bethesda.
I mean,
it's
that's why
predictable.
the Halo TV series is failing. There's no gameplay.
But that's different. It is a. I know what you're doing there, Kieran. For Christ's
Ah,
sake.
God. I'm teasing.
I know, but
It's so good.
look, you both have sat there in previous episodes and gone, yeah, it looks cool. It looks like the idea of it's cool. No, I've always maintained that gameplay is the biggest
I
component
want to
of
be
a game.
excited. I want to be excited for something. And so
Yeah, you
I'm
can
putting
be
my
excited
sights on
about
that.
it, and I'm saying that you can be excited about it. I'm just not in the same position of you from a 30-second piece of concept art. Like we're long beyond the point of it being concept art stage. We're at the point now where we're about 6 months to 9 months away from launch. Show me what it looks like in
But
engine.
it's Bethesda.
Because
It's gonna look like
because
everything.
this is the biggest thing. Is it the creation engine again? Because if it's the creation engine again, I'm out. I'm straight out.
I think that they've moved on from Creation Engine. Who?
But they haven't shown that.
Who just? Which game is it that said they're no longer creating on their own engine? They just did an Unreal Engine. Is it COD?
Witcher.
CD Projekt.
No. It's yeah. That's it. So Witcher.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The next Witcher game is going to be made on
Yeah.
Unreal.
Yeah, so they haven't
How do
made
we
it
feel
abundantly
about
aware.
that?
They don't. Yeah, they haven't made it abundantly aware that they're not using the creation engine or anything like that. Because
So-
if they're using that creation engine, oh dear.
Do you think that if all games are made in Unreal, much like all games are made in Unity, indie games, but do you think that
They're
all
not.
games, this is sarcastic, is that going to lead to a kind of generic product, or are we going to see?
No.
I don't think that every game is going to be using Unreal Engine 5.
Well, not every game, but
There will be some studios out there that will still create their own engine because actually they would much rather do that.
but is
because
that reinventing the
they
wheel?
can use it
if-
across multiple properties rather than having to license it from Epic.
You think about like the amount of games they use on Unreal Engine as well.
Mhm.
The same. So
Well,
they all look
yeah.
very different. They can utilize Engine in so many different ways.
I mean,
Yeah.
Obviously, they tend to promote Unreal as like the engine for photorealism. You know,
mhm.
that's tend to be the marketing for it. But like, I see a lot of people use it, and like, it's not photorealistic. They don't aim for like photorealism. They just aim to make a game look good, and they make the game that runs well as well. So
Also, Unreal Engine 5 is not commercially available just yet. It's still being built.
plus you think about the need for like ease.
Oh, Kieran, we've lost you. Come back.
Creation for devs. For example, EA and Frostbite. Is it Frostbite? Uh-huh.
Frostbite.
Frostpunk.
Yeah, Frostbite. And they made everyone use Frostbite when
Oh.
they made it.
Even though it was only developed for first-person shooters, and yet they got FIFA running on it, and it looked like garbage.
I believe Andromeda was made on it.
Oh god.
Look at how much of a mess that was.
I really liked Andromeda. That's the irony. I really liked Andromeda. It's just that the bugs were annoying. But
That's what I
and
mean.
then
That's what I meant by mess.
and then probably one of EA's biggest successes in years, Jedi Fallen Order. Respawn
yeah.
said, "We are using Unreal."
Yeah.
And they made the right.
That's true.
They made the right call there.
Because it's more than just like like engines are just more than graphics. It's about utility. It's about ease.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why reinvent the wheel if it already exists? But that's my.
But at this point, Bethesda has a wheel that is absolutely
I don't
bent
think
up,
they're-
out of shape and needs to be reformed.
I don't think they're doing Creation Engine anymore. I read something about that, but it's been. been
Is
a
it
while.
officially confirmed?
See, it's been a while. I couldn't even tell you right now.
I know. I'm offering a couple of questions that I don't expect an answer. They're rhetorical at this point because Bethesda still haven't answered the questions.
Well, I'm
The
still.
game is so close to
I'm
not
still
so
gonna be
close to
excited.
launch. They are close enough. They should be in the final phase of like actually starting to reveal the game.
It's the final countdown.
Yeah, they should be there or thereabouts. If they aren't there or thereabouts, they should delay the game. But I'm worried about this now because you remember I said I'm actually genuinely excited about it. I love sci-fi stuff, and this is right up my alley. But I don't trust Bethesda. I really
Yeah,
don't.
But I'm a fangirl, so I don't have an objective opinion. I'm excited.
Yeah,
But I was
mean,
excited for Fallout 4, and then.
Look where it got you. The creation
Then
engine,
again, I
realizing
mean-
that it was a pile of crud.
But here's the thing. I still put over 100 hours in Fallout 4, so
Yeah, but you had to change the game to how
I
you
did.
wanted to play it.
I
But
did.
therefore, you did not like the base game that
No.
Bethesda gave you.
No.
So should that not make you worried enough? And considering their recent exploits with Fallout 76,
Aye, that
you
game.
should probably be a bit more cautious.
People like that game.
People do like that game. I'm not one
It's
of them,
got
but people
better.
do.
Yeah, but they're still charging $100 a year for a subscription service for that game. Jesus Christ. What were they thinking?
Well, here's what I'm thinking. We wrap this episode up and we talk about this on the stream. Because we've been talking for a while. I don't want
Things like that, when you get to editing phase, just cut this bit out.
Nah. It was important.
But I do.
In the spirit of liveliness and debate.
Yes, absolutely. I was saying, thank you for
We're
joining
going to close
us.
out the show.
Yes, thank you for joining us, our listeners and our watchers. And we have enjoyed your company. And now I'm going to ask these guys where you can find them. Pete, where can they find?
Kieran is technically a returning member, so he should be first.
Okay.
He hasn't been on for a while.
Kieran, where can they?
Yes.
You can find me on Twitter as usual at the McGinn, on Twitter, as I've just said. And from there you can find links to Raps Views UK and also my own blog, Pause Play Review, where the most recent thing I did was a review of Matt Reeves' The Batman.
Go read it.
Oh, I really did enjoy it. It was good.
It's a good review. I've read it. Go read it.
Can I just interject here quickly? Brent's telling me to calm down. It's free on Game Pass. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if it's free on Game Pass or a purchased game. I still need to see what it looks like.
So this is Pete. That's just how he do.
I'm sorry. I can't judge a game on a couple of screenshots. I need to see what it looks like in game, how it's gonna play, how it's gonna run, because essentially I'm playing a game, not watching a fucking movie.
Don't forget to honk that out.
Never.
Yeah, we're allowed one.
We could officially call this Pete gets pissed off with everything today.
No, I like my other thing. I don't remember what I said it was, but it was.
No,
funny.
I'm just saying that just so I could say pissed off.
Oh.
Again.
Oh. Pissed off Pete. Prince of the Pistol Ears. Yeah, I was gonna say that's where I was going with that.
Yeah, I used to know a guy called Pistol Pete.
Did you really?
Was he the best damn shooter in the West?
I had a tattoo.
Did
like of it? Like that was a kind of. Sure
has he been on a firing range and not missed?
I don't think so. I can't remember how he got it.
Well, then I'm the real Pistol Pete, then, motherfucker.
Did you meet him in the desert?
No, it was just some guy at university I met years ago.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, that's it. Nothing too exciting. Just that. Yeah,
Yeah, just missed what I said then.
What did you say, Pete?
I just said if he hasn't hit the targets, then I'm the real Pistol Pete.
Yes, we have to always say Pete did go to a shooting range in Las Vegas.
And I have the proof to show I did not miss a shot.
If I never touch again, I will be touch a gun again. I will be very happy. But
yeah, give me all the
what
guns.
was I saying? Pete, did you say where they could find you?
You can find me on Twitter at PeteBeckett1, which is spelled BECKETT and the number 1. You could also check out my other podcast where you can listen to me being boring about Marvel Cinematic Universe, which is The Never Watchers.
That's never boring.
And might have caused a bit of controversy this week, which was quite funny. So, yeah, go and listen to the WandaVision episode because clearly some people have massively disagreed with us.
I think yes. Okay, so here's my order for our wonderful audience. Go read Kieran's blog post.
Oh, that is an episode title if I've ever seen one. Go weed.
Go read Kieran's blog post about the Batman. Because it's really, really, really good and well written, and I agree with it, most of it. And go watch Pete's and Kurt's. Sorry. Latest edition on the Never Watchers.
Oh, don't sound too
No, but for real. No, go watch it. Listen. Oh,
Yeah, well, we're not a video podcast. So.
Yeah, well. And yes, I vehemently disagree with Pete. But
And so did
that's
Kieran.
why we have a podcast.
Yeah.
But anyway, we do actually thank you for joining us. And I'm not
You
I'm not
haven't given
officially
your-
doing it yet. I'm not officially
Okay,
there.
okay.
yet.
I
I will
just
be.
wanted to check in. Yeah,
I
fine.
will be.
Just wanted to check to see whether or not you were happy with sharing some stuff. Feel free to share your business stuff if you really want to, though.
Yeah, go check out Bamboozy. You just type in Bamboozy. I'm the only Bamboozy that exists.
There you go. Thank
For
you.
all your
It- it-
merch and business needs.
So long as she responds to your message. Anyway,
Oh!
I'm oh, burn.
I just got
Sick.
roasted on my
Yeah,
own
okay,
show.
mate.
But, yeah. So anyway,
We're closing out.
yeah. Thank you for listening and for watching, and we will. Whoops! Hold on. I just did a thing on screen.
What did you do?
I accidentally clicked on the Discord. But,
Did you?
yep. We will see you and watch. No, frick.
And
Okay.
talk to you.
I'm so tired. We will see you and talk to you next week. Bye.
What a shit show this has been.
I'm not ended the stream yet. We're still streaming.
No, that's how I'm ending the audio episode. Thank you very much.
It was a good episode. It was impromptu, and I got distracted.
Yeah, can we be honest here?
This is going to come off the cuff. We prepared
Yeah.
this episode literally about 30 minutes before
I'm gonna be
we were due
honest.
to go live.
To be fair, this actually ended up a really good episode for what the pressure we were under. And yes, Brent, thank you so
Don't blame
much.
you, mate.
But
Don't blame you.
I wanna
Thanks-
say-
thanks for sticking around.
Officially, I want to say before we go, a huge thanks to these guys because literally, I'm not kidding. This was not the planned episode. This is a last minute thrown together thing, and I kind of was in a panic because I'm not good
Yeah.
with plans changing at the last minute.
No, I know that.
But they ended
That's
up these two are champions, and I thank them very much. But I want to thank you guys, our watchers.
Watchers.
I promise I
And
will
the
be better.
listeners when they do
next
listen
week.
too.
Ooh, meat pie. Go for it, Brent. I'm gonna go have a chicken. I mean,
Meat
eat a
pie,
chicken.
maybe?
I'm not gonna
Oh,
have a chicken.
I went
Um,
out for dinner yesterday, and actually, I had a steak and ale pie, and it was
Uh,
absolutely
Yeah,
delicious.
Kieran's gotta go because
Yeah.
he's got to eat
Yeah.
now. But thanks, you guys.
Cool.
We'll
Thanks,
see you
thanks
next
for
week.
coming on again, Kieran. We'll hopefully see you again soon.
Bye, guys.
Good luck with the last week.
Bye.
Anyways, see you guys.